They do the thing where she turns on the light, doesn't see anyone, and then as she turns away, there's a surprise villain in the doorway. Then she
Yeah,
turns the
there's
lights
Pooh.
off and just keeps going. They left Pooh on her doorstep.
Here we go.
Welcome to Cash Exchange Presents.
What up?
How are you doing today?
Not too shabby. Can't complain. No one would care if I did anyways. What about you?
You mean you haven't told a random service worker that you were having a bad day?
Yeah, and then just
It's a
watch
shame,
them
man.
implode. No, I haven't.
It's
I have not burdened them with
that
my
had to have happened.
tribulations.
Yeah. That has to have happened to me at some point in my serving career. There's no way that you do 10 years of time in the restaurant industry and there's not one person that's told me that they were bad when I asked how things were going.
You think you just blocked it out?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I've definitely repressed it. Therapy is going to be a fun time for me. I see that you have broken back out the No Bothers Given shirt.
No bothers given. 2.
Oh, I didn't see that. To be fair, I can only see every third pixel of your picture right now.
Yeah. I mean, we're a thrifty people. I'm not gonna lie to you and say this is a whole new shirt. It's the same shirt, but with a 2.
Which is basically where we're at with today's movie, Blood and Honey 2.
Actually, I mean, I would argue that this is a much better movie.
Oh, it's so much better.
Like way, way ahead of the first movie. So I would say that this isn't like just slapping on a 2 onto something that you already got. This is its own property.
Yeah, that is fair.
Blood and Honey 1 walked so that Blood and Honey 2 could run.
I was trying to think of a good tie into the actual movie for Blood and Honey Walked. I got nothing.
Blood and
There's
Honey
no-
1 would be like Winnie's walk in the first one. He's a lot more agile in this one.
He is, yeah. Spoiler
He's a lot
alert.
more
They all are.
menacing. They are. I do like what they did with the complete changing of the actors. From what I could tell, there was only one returning actor from the Blood and Honey 1, and it's a completely different character.
Who was that?
It was our Native American hillbilly, British hillbilly, Troy from the first one.
Oh, okay.
He is Owl in this one.
What? Huh. Interesting.
And while we're talking about Owl, he is like a straight knockoff of Jeepers Creepers.
Absolutely.
Jeepers
He's
Creepers with a beak.
I was trying to figure out in the first scene that you see Owl what he looked like, and I could not for the life of me figure it out. It's Jeepers Creepers.
There
The
you
only
go.
thing that
See?
I got was like gargoyle mask, which is not inaccurate, but it's
No.
Jeepers Creepers.
No, but a nice gargoyle mask. If this were the first one, it would have been something straight off the shelf of Spirit.
Out of the gate, I am so immensely grateful that they upped their costume budget in this movie because the masks actually move. They can emote, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Their eyes look real freaky, which I think adds to the vibe that they're going for. It doesn't look as much like it's just a person in an animal mask.
Well, that is the difference between a $100,000 budget and a $500,000 budget.
Crazy that this was still only $500,000.
It does seem like a lot. It seems like they really got a lot of bang for their buck with this movie.
They did, yeah. So we have picked up. I don't really have a good time frame. I don't think there's a specific time jump.
It's a
correct me if
year
I'm wrong.
after.
Okay. After the 100 Acre Wood massacre, Christopher Robin has tried to return to normal life, and we get some more animation narration where they say that essentially Pooh and Christopher Robin are going through similar journeys because there are people that are out hunting the woods for whatever monsters caused this massacre. And Christopher Robin, after the release of a movie about the massacre, is being tormented, basically being out in public.
I really like that device using the
Parallel journeys.
like yeah, well, like making the previous movie kind of like the made for TV movie of the actual
Yeah.
events that happened, because then you're not concerned with these characters played by completely different actors. The costume changes, which the most egregious one is Piglet, because in the first one, Piglet was like a boar with like these huge
Mhm.
tusks, and was very menacing. In this one, it's not that way. He's very portly, more
He
piggish.
looks incredibly silly in this one. And
He does.
they did get more into the realism, but if you go with realism from a pig and not a boar, he doesn't make for a good villain, which is
No,
why he dies twice
pretty
in
early
this
on.
franchise.
Yeah.
Because you think he's dead towards the end of the first one, and then he dies in, I think, about 20 minutes of the movie.
Yeah. Yeah. Not too far into it. Not a fan of that, though. Not a fan of the regeneration and can live forever aspect. Spoiler alert.
I have a lot to say about that towards the end of this conversation.
We start off with a quote, and I'm not sure how I feel about it.
Yeah.
I usually don't like movies that start off with quotes unless they're like historical things like the Pearl Harbor or yeah, something like World War II, some sort of
Mhm.
like battle thing, and like these are people that actually live these experiences.
Yeah.
But the quote we get is, "You can't stay in your corner of the forest waiting for others to come to you. You have to go to them sometimes." Dash Winnie the Pooh. And I will go ahead and let you down now. There's a lot less opportunities for me to make poo jokes in this one.
There
So,
was one specific one that actually did get me. I chuckled a little bit, and it was in the intro to the movie where they have the little, like, animated what have Winnie the Pooh and Christopher Robin been up to since the events of the last movie,
yeah.
and it says something along the lines of they force Pooh out of the woods, and it got me. That one got me.
Oh, you're welcome.
There had to have been one of them. This one, I think it was because this one actually came from the movie, it wasn't just, our rehashing of it. Just it's very silly. This 300-pound trucker-looking bear man is named Poop. Not once do they call him Winnie.
Never. Never. Which I wonder if that's like a legal thing.
No, I mean, they do call him Winnie the Pooh, I think a couple of times
Do
in
they?
the first one? It's made reference to, but they never, like, directly call him that.
One of the reasons, because this came out March 24th, 2024. One of the reasons that it came out when it did was because Tigger went into the public domain in 2023.
Oh, interesting. I wonder if that's why they ate Eeyore. I'm still bitter about that. I wonder if they ate Eeyore because they couldn't include him in the first movie.
I don't know. Maybe.
That's interesting.
We are set up for a trilogy, so maybe Eeyore will make his grand return in the last one. And with the regeneration stuff, why did that creates a bit of a hole in the story?
I have a lot of questions that specifically revolve around the fact that there is a canon movie about the events that happened in the first movie, or the first movie is in the universe of the second one, and the second one is kind of the only thing that's actually happening in the real world.
Yeah.
I'm very confused by that because I don't know what parts of this.
What's real?
I don't know how to have this conversation. Yeah. Like, theoretically speaking, because this is a made for TV movie about what happened to Christopher Robin and others in the 100 Acre Woods, did he just tell this entire story? Did they just make up a whole bunch of backstory for these teenage girls? And they did not look like teenagers.
No.
at all.
To be fair, they didn't look like teenagers in the first movie either.
Well, that's what I mean. They mentioned in the second one that it was a bunch of teenagers that died.
Oh,
Those girls
yeah.
were mid-20s.
I mean, they gave themselves an out with everything in the first movie is just an interpretation of what happened from some screenwriter.
Yep. Well, that's what I mean, though.
So,
Like, how much of it came from just Christopher Robin wildly speculating about what happened in those
yeah, I
girls'
don't know.
lives right before they died? Because none of them made it out.
I don't know. They might have created their own plot holes with the explanation of the made-for-TV movie. That, by the way, is called Honey and Blood, not Blood and
I
Honey.
know, I love that. They do have a small callback to the first movie as one of the kids in the movie is like watching Honey and Blood. And you already knew watching the first movie that it was the most expensive thing that they filmed. And it's where they crush a girl's head under a car tire. And so her
And
eyeball
it's
pops out.
and they did nothing to the effects. None of the budget for this movie went to correcting how ridiculous those effects looked in that movie, which I kind of respect.
If it is canon that this is a movie about reality rather than reality itself, then it makes sense. Anyway, there's a
Yeah.
lot of meta confusion that did kind of frustrate me on the second watch of this movie. So, we have watched the intro animation narration. There is a shelf of horrific looking dolls.
Actually, I do have a quick question about the animation. It says that Pooh was reunited with his friends.
Mhm.
Why leave them in the first place? So after the events of the first, whatever happened at the 100-Acre Massacre, Pooh had to be reunited with his friends because mobs were closing in on sections of the forest and like fencing them in to one
Mhm.
area. So what were Owl and, spoiler alert, Tigger doing prior to this?
I mean, I assumed that some of the bodies and things that it references in the first movie would have been attributed to the other big bads, Birdman and
Maybe.
the
But
Tiger
like
King.
if they had just been, I don't know, because like the fact that they said reunited means that they weren't together for a while and then they came back to each other. So I'm just wondering because it seems like the reunited part was purposeful. So
Sure, yeah.
maybe we're gonna get a spinoff on what Al and Tigger were up to.
God, I hope not. My my theory is that it was not, in fact, a unanimous decision to eat Eeyore in the first movie. It was whose decision, and Piglet went along with it. And so
Mm,
the animal hybrids that would have been against that decision would have split off and done their own thing,
okay.
which would have been Owl and Tigger. That's what I'm gonna guess.
Okay. That makes sense. Well, maybe you should have been a screenwriter on this movie.
I think
Maybe you should have reached out.
this was a very fun watch. I think that it accomplished more than any of the other, like, low budget movies that we've watched recently has.
Mm-hmm.
It feels a little cheesy in a way that's self-aware. I don't feel like it's going too hard at trying to be realistic.
Yeah. Yeah, it knows what it is. And there are a couple times where that shines through, especially like one glaring one towards the end, which I really appreciated.
Well, since we have a lot to talk about in the back end of this movie, it sounds like let's get started with the actual live action part of this movie. So we open
Alrighty.
to a séance, naturally.
Is that what it was?
Yes.
I wasn't
They
sure.
are
Are
mm,
do they pull out a Ouija board?
they're messing with a Ouija board, yeah.
Yeah. Dummies.
And I'm not superstitious,
Are you a little
but don't
stitious?
mess with I am a little stitious. Don't mess with Ouija boards.
No. Even if it
That's just
doesn't do anything, why take the risk, you know?
it's asking for trouble.
Yep.
Maybe you're subconsciously moving that planchette? I don't know how you say that.
Planchette, yeah.
Planchette. Maybe you're subconsciously moving the planchette, but like if you are, that's a part of your subconscious and not your conscious for probably a good reason.
Yeah, I just watched a video about Paranormal Activity, and I think I'm going to revisit that soon.
The movie or the concept?
Both.
Okay.
I am in a spirited house as we speak.
You are indeed. Are you going
Robert
to
is
get a third
everywhere.
mic for Robert?
He even goes on vacation with us.
What if he's in your elf on the shelf? That goes on
Hmm.
vacation with you.
It does. I never thought of that. I have to
This is
rethink how we do this Christmas.
a dead silence knockoff that's happening in your house. When are we getting the elf on the shelf horror movie? You could
No,
make a
I'm sure it's
knockoff
coming.
version of it.
You could.
So, we have opened
Elf on
on a
the Shelf
seance.
movie. That's ours.
God damn
Can't take it.
it.
We need royalties.
There's already an elf on the shelf movie.
Like a
It's
Christmas
animated
cartoon?
and fun. Yes.
Oh, no. I want like Elf, like Annabelle, but with an elf on the shelf.
You can't do like Jack Frost and Jack Frost to the elf on the shelf.
Yeah, we'll give the elf. Ours is named Dorothy. We'll give her a sad one where a mom dies and then she is reincarnated into the elf on the shelf to watch over her family during Christmas and be super sad about it. And then we'll give her one where she is murdered and then goes on a rampage or a rampage of revenge.
He's not even murdered
If
in that movie. He's a serial
if we
killer.
can,
Hate that I know that.
in which one?
Jack Frost, the other one.
Oh, okay. So like a Chucky situation. The
Sure,
spirit
yes.
of a serial killer goes into a doll. So the spirit of a serial killer will go into Dorothy and then she'll cause mayhem with her tiny little plush hands that have no opposable thumbs.
Disappointing. She needs opposable
It's our
thumbs.
idea. Don't steal it. Anyways, seance.
We've opened on a seance. They are specifically channeling the spirits of the 100-Acre Woods, and I don't think that's how a Ouija board works. I don't think you can call specific spirits so much as you can just be like, hey, anyone want to chat? It's chat
It's
roulette
like
with the
opening
spirit
up your
world.
window. Open up your window, sticking your head out like, hey, anything going on over here?
Yes.
And then whatever
But
comes into contact.
yeah. But
Do you think
they
from that point you can you, you can request that one sends out like a message to the person that you're trying to get a hold of?
I wouldn't imagine that spirits are willing to take voicemails. Maybe.
Like
I
a
don't know.
game
I
of
don't speak
telephone
for
with the dead?
I don't speak for the spirit world, but I wouldn't think that's how that works. Um, to be fair, I have also never used a Ouija board, so I don't know that you can't talk to specific ghosts.
Hey,
Imagine how
next year's
annoying it would be
Halloween
to be a dead
special.
famous person. No, absolutely not. We are not using a Ouija board.
On
You
live, on Instagram, TikTok.
That is some white people stuff that I do not feel like participating in.
We are white. We're
Be
half
that as
white.
it may, no, I will not be
All right.
participating in any Ouija board nonsense. This pans out by them immediately after they ask the 100-Acre Wood spirits to communicate with them. They say, I think it's not get out, but it's something along those lines.
You shouldn't be here.
You shouldn't be here. And the girls are a little frightened.
I got excited because one of the girls is American. I was like, hey, are we going to get more Americans in this movie?
Yeah.
We don't.
We hear the voice of one of the creatures that is in the 100-Acre Woods. And the lady that is sitting against the back wall of the RV that they're all in gets stabbed right through it.
So it's a white British woman, a white American woman, black British woman. And as soon as I said you shouldn't be here, me and Emily were watching it, and Emily was like, that girl's gonna go, talking about the black girl. I was like, there's no way. You can't do that anymore. That's not PC.
Mm-hmm.
And then she immediately dies. So I was wrong. And they did want to go there. The first person to die in this movie was a black woman.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't appreciate it.
We'll put that on the record.
But it was pretty funny.
So the two ladies that are left over are panicking. One of them goes to open the door, sees man bear right outside. And as she tries to pull the door closed again, it shuts on all of her fingers. And so she is freaking out with a scene that is surprisingly not bad considering the CGI of the first movie, with all of her fingers facing a bunch of different directions. Who is
No,
now
I liked it.
who is now outside of the RV that they're in and flipping it over. And we discussed it a good bit in the last episode on the original Blood and Honey. How strong is this bear? Because I looked it up. The low end of a motorhome, roughly, I'm assuming this size, is like 12,000 pounds. That feels pretty heavy for a single man bear to flip.
Do you think
But he
so?
does it. He
He
flips a
does.
whole
Barely
RV.
breaks a sweat.
How would you be able to tell?
Yeah, I mean,
This
he
was
doesn't
shot darker than Game of Thrones.
he doesn't huff and puff. He's
This is true.
he even right after he's still just murder on the mind, focused, driven. You can appreciate that.
hmm So one of the girls makes it out. She slips out through the window and runs over to a like ATV that is covered in
It's like
Christmas
decked
lights.
out. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's weird.
She is trying to escape, and as she tries to escape, who catches her? Sweet Jesus.
Uh, she got the poo on her.
Uh-huh. Uh, the other girl has now fallen into the lake that they were right beside.
After being caught on
Convenient.
fire because they are in the most flammable RV of all time. Immediately goes
True.
up in flames.
This is true. Maybe they poured gasoline on it on the outside before there was the whole ambush. These guys are
Maybe.
fast and shockingly quiet
Maybe.
considering their size. You'd think that you'd
It's
hear
something,
that that lumbering man bear for a ways out.
but you don't.
Anyway, you don't. The This is where you first see Owl in his full glory, and he says, "How dare you try to survive?" The thing that caught me on this part was that they make a very big point of it in the first movie
Ugh.
that all of them speak in broken English, and he's just talking perfectly normally.
He like breaks out into a soliloquy at one point.
It is bizarre
It is
because
strange. Been
that is
reading
one of
up
the
on his
things that I
Shakespeare.
had. That's one of the things I had questions about when it comes to the like real canon versus the in-universe movie that was made.
Mm-hmm.
If the like broken English that they spoke in the first movie was supposed to be some iteration of the screenwriter's idea rather than I don't know. It's a lot of things. But
And again,
there were a good bit of
they wrote
callbacks.
away that plot hole. So like, no, what are you talking about? They speak perfect English. They can even wax poetic to you right before they kill you. Like, I don't know where he came up with that gibberish stuff from the first one. So
I mean, there wasn't even like gibberish stuff. You heard you left. That's it.
yeah,
And then just assorted noises.
yeah. We didn't get any snorts in this one from Piglet. I mean, doesn't really make it that far in, but
Yeah.
yeah, no weird grunt snorts.
So who is fighting the girl on the ATV? And he goes after her with his weapon of choice, which is a bear trap.
Ironic,
He catches her,
don't you think?
breaks each of her limbs individually, and then bear traps her face.
He sets it up like it's a WWE cage fight. Like he lays her down and then he opens up the trap and then he sets the trap under her head and then plops her head down. It was very dramatic.
She's also watching her friend who is half burnt in the water as she is about to explode.
And boy
And
does
now
she.
we have the opening of the movie.
And title card.
It starts the same way that every single one of these movies has, aside from Slumber Party Massacre. We start out in a deeply impractical therapist's office.
I don't. What is it?
This woman is
Why
working
is it
inside of
every
a
time it's a
Gringotts.
therapist?
She
Yeah, she is.
has bookshelves on every wall of her office, which is massive, by the way. And it is wall to wall books. I am confident that she owns everything that's ever been published. But none of the shelves are lined up. If you had a patient with OCD, I think it would be exposure therapy to just exist in that space. It was stressing me out.
Uh,
It is just deeply silly, like every other therapist's office. This, however, is not your typical therapy. This is a hypnotherapist,
do you believe in hypnosis?
which I do, yeah.
Would you ever try hypnotherapy?
I don't think so.
I
I
don't
don't
either.
like I believe in hypnosis because I think that our brains are malleable, but I don't think I would ever be willing to give somebody that much control over my brain. I don't think
Smart.
I would ever want to like let somebody have just free reign. I don't know what they're telling me.
I think if I blocked something out, I blocked it out on purpose.
Yeah,
Is it
that
the
is
healthiest way
probably
to
a fair
live?
assessment.
Maybe not, but works for me.
And that is what matters. But blocking things out and leaving them blocked out does not work for Christopher Robin because he is going to hypnosis therapy so that he can unlock all of those repressed memories of what? We don't know. You would assume that it's the massacre. Probably
You
not.
would. You would think so. Maybe
Oh,
to
that's what
get
it
that
was.
final clue to why all this happened.
The thing that I laughed at watching this movie was not in the animated part, it was in therapy. He says the phrase, I remember playing with Pooh in the
Playing
woodlands.
with
Mom
poo.
and Dad didn't
Yeah.
know. I chuckled. That was the one that got me. You're in
Oh yeah.
therapy for something
I
traumatic that
made
happened to you.
I made sure to write that quote down.
I bet Mom and Dad didn't know you were out playing with Pooh in the woods.
And this woman, they end their session uh with, okay, see you tomorrow. This man is in daily therapy sessions.
I wrote daily therapy in all caps in my notes. What do you mean same time tomorrow?
Oh, that does not seem like that's the way to go. I would think you need a break every now and then,
He
maybe
has
twice
somewhere
a
to
week.
get, and it is right now. Has he been doing daily therapy since the massacre a year ago? That sounds expensive.
That sounds very expensive, but it's in the UK and they have whatever. I don't even know how it works. Is therapy covered?
Not a clue. We had this conversation, I think,
I don't
twice
know.
already.
Hey, our Brits, let us know because we'd be interested, and maybe you can clear up some misconceptions about universal health care. I don't know much about it. I just know my insurance is expensive as hell. And
Man.
anytime I want to go to the doctor, it's expensive as hell.
Yeah. I just remembered that there was an update that I had on the podcast. Nate listened to one of them and informed me of something we were unsure about, and I don't remember what it was.
Oh,
Nuts.
okay. So this aside means completely nothing. You have no new information to give us.
I don't know.
What you have for us is say, hey, I had information, but now I don't have that information anymore.
Yeah, that's about it.
Hmm.
I'm not saying that it's relevant to the conversation. I just remembered it.
So Chris leaves therapy. Same time tomorrow.
Uh-huh.
All right, you got it, lady. Walks out, and then we hear Chris is 100 meters from you. And there's a lady in a car, a pretty lady in a car. We know what that means.
He's already moved on from Mary,
Yeah,
the one who got
that was
eaten in the
strange.
last one.
Technically, um, they're not together, but it is heavily implied that after the events of this movie, they'll be. I don't have a Winnie the Pooh pun.
I don't think that it is necessarily that they're going to be together after the end of this movie. Because they are the last survivors of a pretty large friend group. I think that's trauma
Yeah.
bonding like you've never seen before.
So they have to be together in the biblical sense
I don't think that's how that works.
so that they can procreate and create a new friend group, because apparently everyone in this town, Ashdown, which has a sign, "Welcome to Ashdown, home of the 100-acre woods." That's not something that I'd put on my sign,
That's exactly what I
but
wrote.
everybody everybody here knows everybody. People that die in the woods, oh, they were friends of Christopher Robin. Oh, the people that just happened to go into the woods, well, Christopher Robin must have known them and must have killed them. Like, everyone knows everybody.
I mean, it's not really suggested that he knows the people that died in the woods.
Not in the first. No, but the 3 that die in the woods this time, he does know. They're like buddies of his.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess in the first one, it didn't really say that he knew them. But they made it a point to, like, everyone knows everyone here. And
The
then it turns out that everyone knows even more people than they think they know here.
all of the ones that died in the first movie are also from several hours away, which I don't know a ton about the UK, but I do know their frame of reference for what a distance or for what distance is too long is way shorter than ours is.
Oh, I just drove in from France.
It's not
It's
even that.
crazy.
It's like my my family is 45 minutes away, so I only get to see them like once a year. Like 45 minutes? I've driven that to work for a very long like it's not the same frame of
The
reference, but they
Europeans
are
are
like
weak
3
people.
hours away. That's your take on this? Europeans are weak people?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
I mean, they know it. It's fine. They're well aware.
So we get the cops calling in 3 dead bodies, and we are cutting to a person listening to a police scanner. We have no idea who this is.
No, just see the back of his head. He's smoking a cigarette. So you know that's shorthand for he's probably not a cool guy.
Don't smoke, kids.
Don't. Not even
Uh,
once.
Immediately after we hear this chatter on the police scanner, we cut to the 100-acre woods, and a flanneled DJ Khaled is hunting to bring justice to his girl. We have no idea who he is talking about.
None
Throughout the
whatsoever.
entire movie, it's never explained. You would imagine it's one of the girls in the RV, probably. Who knows?
Maybe. Yeah.
One of those 3 people that is hunting with one of the people that is hunting with DJ Khaled is a very good friend of Christopher Robin. In this,
We the
it's a
best.
small world.
Friend of Christopher Robin. Who? We. I can't finish that. Anyways. Yeah. And then we get a guess who's overhead. Keeping an eye, reconnaissance on his little patch of land. It's Big Scary Owl Man.
Jeepers creepers.
Jeepers Creepers. I think it was the first one to pop up, Piglet,
Yes.
and starts knocking him around.
Hmm.
And then they start shooting. They shoot Piglet in the face. Piglet goes down, as you would assume. Pooh grabs the man's rifle He obviously does not have very good firearm discipline. Still has his finger on the trigger. Pops his buddy in the face with a 10 gauge from, I don't know, roughly 6-7 feet away. 6-7.
Boo. Stop trying to be one with the
Oh,
youths.
that was an accident. Yeah. So obviously he's down. Then does Pooh finish him off, or does Owl? Is Owl even in this skirmish? This kerfuffle?
I think it's Owl.
I think it's Owl too. Comes in and says something like very like, I guess now that I think about it, in Winnie the Pooh, Owl was like the studious one, so it makes sense based on the characters from Winnie the Pooh that Owl would
Sure.
have these long flowing diatribes about whatever before he pecks your eyes out or what
I'm
have
glad
you.
we've logicked that out.
Okay, so I feel better about that. And then we just yeah, I'm pretty sure that's where that scene ends. We do get a better look at Pooh for this movie. He definitely looks a lot more Grinch like.
That is exactly what I was thinking. He's got the exact like muzzle of the Grinch in the Jim Carrey movie.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe it was on discount. I don't know. Maybe they just dug it up from the Universal warehouse.
He also has little bitty sharp teeth that I think are really funny because they're not positioned in a way that makes any sense with a real mouth. You can tell that they just like laid them on top of the guy's actual teeth because they are incredibly far forward. They look like the entire movie. It just reminded me of Riff Raff. My main goal is to blow up and act like I don't know nobody. Ah, rah, rah, rah.
Oh, after this, we all retreat to the tree that Pooh is notorious for getting stuck in.
Mm-hmm.
I would have appreciated if they had done a callback to that or reference to that, like he was just
I
trying
would not.
to squeeze.
I don't want to see
And
that.
then Piglet just comes in and tries to push his ass through the tree hole. But we don't get it. No, they have a pretty sweet setup. They got some chairs. They got some mood lights. They have a table full of body parts,
Naturally.
and then there's a metal door that rattles, and you hear some like huffing and puffing behind it. You're like, I wonder who's behind that door. We don't know.
Who's to say?
Will we find out? Maybe. Do we know at this current moment? No, we do not.
There are several jars on this table with all of the randomly scattered body parts that are bright yellow in nature. And I have follow up questions. I think, based on the context, that it's supposed to be honey, but that is not honey.
Mm-mm.
It is, it's a weird choice.
We're about to come up on another very weird choice. If you remember from the first movie, Chris was going to be a doctor. That is what he was studying for. Well, we find out in the animation that he did. He did become a doctor. Now he's like a doctor, associate doctor, or something like that, junior doctor. I don't
Doing, like,
remember what the
residency.
exact terminology was. But they wanted to show that he had made it. He had gotten his job in the medical field, and he was doing what he had dreamed of by showing him giving a kid a shot in the ass.
It was in his back.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Okay, well,
It's
either
a shot
way.
in his back.
They could be in his ass. They could be either. They could be
Sure.
either.
Sure.
It could be upper ass, also known as lower back, but it could
Where
be
do we draw the line?
either. I mean, God drew a line when he created Adam and Eve. There's a pretty definitive line.
Do you think they had
It's literally a
butt cracks when they were
vertical
in
line
Eden?
down your body.
Do you think they had butt cracks when they were in the Garden of Eden?
I guess that would
Yes.
depend on whether you thought Pooh was evil. In this movie, Pooh was evil. And we're back.
And we're back.
And immediately after giving the kid this shot somewhere in the back of his body,
Mm-hmm.
upper ass, lower back, he's immediately fired because of the bad PR.
From the movie that was made.
From the movie, yes. Because I don't think if the movie hadn't been made that there would be as much pressure on him. It would be as prevalent of a thing. But I don't know. Apparently, ever since it happened, he's just being harassed nonstop. His car was spray painted with murderer on it. Hasn't been able to find a job except for this one, and then he immediately lost this one. He's living with his mom and dad and sister,
Mhm.
so things aren't going too well for Chris, and it's not his
This
fault. It's not.
this is true. It kind of feels, if you think in the context of Honey and Blood and Blood and Honey too, that this is the wedding bride from How I Met Your Mother. That this is just like the caricature of what Christopher Robin would have been had he been in that actual situation. Because he does act
Yeah,
pretty pathetic for most of the runtime of the original movie.
he does. Yeah, even at the end, he just runs away.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know.
So
No, never mind.
after he gets fired, we cut to Christopher Robin's house. He is talking to his family about him getting let go from the hospital, and his mom is loading the dishwasher and is frustrated. The reason that she is frustrated is because some psychopath loaded the dishwasher, knife blades, and fork tines up.
Oh, I was really hoping there'd
There,
be some payoff from this.
there has never been more of a Chekhov's gun kind of death than if you open a dishwasher and it is full of blade facing up knives.
First off, hand wash your knives. They'll last a lot longer. Second off, if you're going to load them into the dishwasher, load them blade down, handle up.
Same
They'll
with
still get
forks.
clean. Same with forks. Same with butter knives. You can even do it with spoons too, just so you have all your boxes checked. But for the love of God, don't put, I don't know, like what, 6 full kitchen knives, blade up, in your
They're
dishwasher?
all they're all giant knives. And so I'm very
They're
curious what
huge.
kind of preparation was happening in that kitchen for you to have used every one of your biggest knives. For you to have even had 6 gigantic knives. And
Can you
then not
imagine
only
what their
that,
knife block looks like? It's gotta take up the whole
they are
counter.
not only that, but they are scattered through the dishwasher. Like there's a silverware cubby in every dishwasher I've ever seen. These knives are just randomly sticking out from every part of the dishwasher. Where did they put them? What are they sticking out of?
As haphazardly as possible.
Are they like upward facing cups there? Because that's also the wrong way to load a dishwasher. It makes no sense, man.
Well, when you do stupid things, karma tends to catch up with you. And karma does catch up with the person who put the knives the way they put the knives. So, I mean,
She wasn't the one that did it. She was paying for somebody else's mistakes.
who did it?
She's
We don't
loading
know
the
that she didn't do it.
dishwasher. We do, because she's loading the dishwasher and she's like, "Why would you guys do this? I keep telling you not to."
Oh,
And then she doesn't fix it. She just complains about it and
yeah.
moves on.
Like a woman. Am I right? Eh?
It's too
Eh?
late at night for your nonsense. I'm not doing it.
Oh, and then we
Anyway,
meet. I
go
didn't
ahead.
even write down this girl's name.
The sister?
This sister. Yeah.
Ella.
Oh, yeah.
She goes by Bunny later on, but her name is
Bunny.
Ella.
Yeah. And she has, it's like if it's like if you took a surgery bear, because usually if you have a surgery bear, it's like a bear that a child gets after a surgery.
Mhm.
This is a bear that has been sliced open and looks like is having active surgery done on them
It also has human teeth.
and human teeth. So, interesting choice for a plaything. We find out that it came from Billy's room. When Chris finds out it was from Billy's room, he gets a little angry. No one should be going in Billy's room. And then you're wondering, who's Billy? You can infer that it's probably another sibling, but we get no confirmation
This is true.
until, I don't know, like another 20 minutes from now. It's just Billy. So remember that name because it's going to come in handy in about 20 minutes.
Yeah. So she has stolen the nightmare bear and she says that she took it for protection. From what? Who's to say?
We don't know. Does she know? I doubt she even knows.
So after this, we cut to a random father and son bird watching. in the woods.
This was so
Kid,
on the nose. I knew exactly where it was going, and it still
yeah,
worked on me.
the kid looks through binoculars at a cardinal and then a sparrow and then our friend, Jeepers Creepers. He gets freaked out, says, I don't want to do this anymore, and runs. As he is running away, the dad gets got. Immediately swooped up by Owl.
Just hauled away.
What happened to that child? We don't know.
We hear him running, yelling "Dad," and then that's it. Next scene, we see a bare leg and arm just floating down the water. But it's weird because it comes upstream, and Owl and Pooh are on a bridge downstream with the rest of his body. So,
Again, why
who's to
are
say?
we, if we're at least theoretically killing people at this point for food, why are we just throwing random body parts into the water?
It's not about food anymore. It's about
Okay, well,
sweet, sweet revenge.
why are we just throwing limbs into the water?
That's a good question. I mean, you've already made it very clear that you munch on humans, so you'd think that you would save some up. I don't know. Especially since after the 100 Acre Massacre, people just wandering into your woods, you would think are getting fewer and farther between. So you need to sustain what you got.
It also does not stand to reason that in this day and age, we are to assume that this is present day because everyone has an iPhone. They have RC cars with video cameras and stuff. There was a movie made about the 100 Acre Woods massacre. Why are you taking your child to birdwatch in those woods,
That is a
knowing
fantastic question.
that no one knows what happened? No one has found the killers. I assume there's still all of the articles coming out about the new people that have died in the woods
You would
and
think
the
so.
ongoing hunt. Don't take your child to the murder woods.
Yeah. But, if logic existed in these worlds, these movies would be over pretty quickly.
That is fair. That's fair. So we're back in therapy. It is the next day. Christopher Robin is getting hypnotized again. And in a very get out kind of way, because it even does the exact same camera move where it follows him as his head snaps back.
Yeah.
And in this, he's doing the same gladiator wheat scene that happened in the first movie, where he's just running through a field.
In a yellow, poo-colored sweater.
Hmm. Well, it's a Christopher Robin colored sweater.
Oh,
The
was his sweater
character
yellow too?
Christopher Robin, yeah.
Oh, I just meant
He
like the
wears
color of
blue jeans
Winnie the
and
Pooh. Oh, okay. Well then, yeah, there you go. Nice callback. I didn't catch it.
he sees the van that his brother was taken with. His brother is in the back of a windowless white van, chilling, until that door shuts on him. Then he panics a little bit. Why was he so calm? I didn't see
Maybe.
any puppies or candy.
I don't know.
Some
I don't know.
rando just put him in the van.
We do find out that afterwards he yelled, "Dad, Dad, Dad,"
Hmm.
and that. So I mean, he does. Maybe it's just shock. Maybe it's just shock. He looks in
Yeah.
the driver window, and it immediately the hypnosis is over. He's angry because he was right there. He could have found out who took his brother, maybe why. He could have, but he didn't. Building suspense.
So we've moved on to Lexi, who is the blonde in the car from earlier. She is babysitting a
A complete psychopath.
complete psychopath. He is dressed in a Freddy Krueger sweater, Jason mask, and is holding a knife, a toy
And
knife. But
appropriately, his name is Freddy.
yeah, he is watching Honey and Blood, specifically the eyeball popping scene. And The next scene that we get is a shot on this kid's TV of Winnie the Pooh. There is fake lightning all around him, and he says, "It's Pooh time." I lied. There were 2 times that it made me laugh.
Oh
He
man.
said, "It's Pooh time."
So good. So good.
There was actually, there is one other thing in the little, like, flashback scene when Christopher Robin is being hypnotized, and he sees a younger version of Pooh, who is eating a rabbit, which makes me incredibly confused because the whole point of the first movie was that they had this grief with humanity because Christopher Robin had left them to starve to death, essentially.
Mhm.
But they had the ability to hunt and eat by themselves anyway, because this would have been well before Christopher Robin abandoned them.
That is correct. So
Is this like
their whole
a you eat?
motivation for the slaughter just doesn't really add up anymore.
It's very silly, yeah.
Now they're just doing it for funsies. Were they doing it for funsies all along?
I think they were always doing it for funsies.
Wow.
So after it's poo time,
So silly.
we cut to cops in the 100 Acre Wood, presumably looking for the father and son that have disappeared.
Yes, most likely.
They go inside the little tree hangout thing that Pooh and his friends have built their little nest in. They see the table full of cadaver bits and unidentified yellow liquid and some bodies hanging from the ceiling. Human jerky, I think.
Yes, I think that is the technical term, yes.
The door that was rattling earlier
Ooh, it's coming back.
swings open. It swings open. The cops go into this doorway. They shine a light in it. And they're like, I don't know. I don't see anything. One of the
He
cops
says,
goes,
oh,
let's
go ahead.
bounce.
He says, F it, let's bounce. And then, oh my God, out of the darkness comes our buddy Tigger. And he just says, that's my line.
Who taught these animal human hybrids to be funny? That's my biggest question in this.
Who taught them
Who
their one
taught?
liners? I don't know.
Yeah, because
I don't know.
there's a good bit of them.
There is. And that was a well placed one. I appreciated that one. Later on, we get a little more dialogue from Tigger, and all of it is just one liners and
Yeah,
calling women bitches.
there were a
So
great deal of them.
maybe he was educated by a misogynist, which not okay. Not okay
Yeah.
to teach our human animal hybrid freaks misogyny and that women are less valuable than men. I don't appreciate it.
So we cut to a conversation that happens between Christopher Robin and his parents, where he basically tells them what he feels like he remembers in therapy. And his mom is not 100% on board, but his dad says, I remember you calling for me that day.
Yeah, his
And
mom tries to
so,
claim, well, couldn't that be like a false memory?
yeah. So now Christopher Robin is on a mission. He is going to figure out exactly what happened to his brother. He goes onto his laptop and searches on the search engine Milne, which
Hmm. It's an Easter egg.
it is, yeah. Uh, what is a little bit messed up, I think, is that the logo for the search engine Milne is a bear with honey on its face. I would think there's probably more than one to choose from, even in this universe, and I personally wouldn't opt
Uh,
for the one that reminds me of the worst thing that's ever happened to me.
Probably not. And
Maybe, I don't know.
Milne definitely isn't as catchy as Google. So maybe
I'm
that's the
gonna
reason it
milm it.
didn't take off. Yeah. I don't know, man. Just milling it.
I'm just
Well,
gonna
Milne
Bing it.
says,
It was a crapshoot. We could have gotten Bing as a verb.
or Jeeves it.
Or Jeeves, yeah.
Oh, this is our first Dutch angle.
Hate it so much. It's such a crappy way to create
Uh,
tension.
this is where we find out that Billy was taken in 2003.
Mhm.
Andrew Fander was arrested for the missing children, but he gave an alibi and was released.
Yeah.
Other articles were titled Search for Missing Children Continues, Zombie Deer Disease Linked to Toxic Waste, Ashdown Home Mysteriously Burned Down, Arson Suspected. In that article about the burned down house, it says House of well-known genetic scientist Arthur Gallup. Then it mentions disturbing practices, unexplained disappearances, and pictures that look like animal-human hybrids. One of them looks like a little version of owl.
Yeah. Do you think that the zombie deer, because of the toxic waste, has something to do with the story as well? I feel like it would make sense if that also tied in because, again, the bear lifted a whole RV.
You'd think so, but it's never mentioned ever again.
There's going to be a third movie.
Is that
Maybe it's
when
like
the
the
zombie
Toxic
deer
Avenger.
show up? Maybe Winnie and friends have to fight the toxic deer, the zombie deers. And that's going to be
I
the whole
would
movie.
absolutely love to see that.
It's going to be Winnie versus Bambi. When does Bambi go into the public domain?
It's a good question.
It's got to be coming up.
It's got to be coming up, yeah.
So after digging up all this trauma for the upteenth time, Chris goes to sleep. He has a nightmare.
What are the contents of said
And
nightmare?
I didn't write it down.
Neither did I. That's
Did
why I
you?
was asking. No.
Oh. Do we get anything? Because I feel like if something had happened in it, I would have written it down. I don't remember. Then it flashes to the person still listening to the police scanner, and then back to Chris, and it's assumed that Chris just stayed up all night because he eyes wide open, and then the sun starts pouring in the room. So you could assume that he probably didn't get any sleep because of whatever was in this nightmare. He's woken up to his parents calling him because there are officers in the living room that want to discuss the situation with the three hunters. One of them said that they knew Chris and they wanted to speak to him. And so the officers were like, well, what's the connection here? You know, we don't think you did the 100-acre massacre, but we do need to talk to you just to cross it off of our list. So do you have an alibi for that day? And he was like, yeah, I was with my mom and dad, just hanging around the house. And they don't really seem to buy it. But then they're like, all right, thanks.
And they say that Aaron wanted to talk to him. So he heads
Yeah,
to the hospital.
he heads to the hospital. Aaron is the fella that accidentally got shot by his buddy, Dick Cheney style, and is completely wrapped in bandages except for one eye. One eye is open, darting around the room.
Mhm.
Chris walks up, says, they said you wanted to talk to me? Chris gets a whiteboard, hands it to Aaron, who apparently still has full use of his fingies, and writes out, you were right. And then Chris, shaking his little boots, says, what do you mean? And then Aaron musters up all of his courage, all of his strength to write, they did this. And then, for whatever reason, takes off his bandages, and he is super drippy under there.
Yeah.
Real
He
gross.
was not well bandaged to begin with.
No.
Would not think that was a good way to go about things. They
No,
skin grafted over his mouth, which feels like a bit of a dick move. I don't
yeah.
know. I don't know how many options you would have if you were shotgunned in the face, but
I wonder if that's like an actual procedure or just a thing they thought would look cool and would give it a reason to use the whiteboard instead of him talking.
I mean, the stitches looked very silly, so I don't know how much realism they were necessarily going for.
So it's just that it was laying around
I think so.
in the props department, and they're like, throw this on him.
So Christopher Robin is taking all of this in. as Aaron has collapsed back into his hospital bed. As he is taking this in, he makes eye contact with the guy through the window of this hospital room and has a flashback to Billy in the back of the van, now recognizing that the guy he just made eye contact with was the kidnapper.
The hospital janitor,
He was the hospital
custodian.
janitor?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he was
I didn't
also
know.
there in the background whenever Chris got fired, and they made some weird eye contact.
Crazy that they were crossing paths pretty regularly and it didn't click before now.
Yeah, isn't it? So from the hospital, one of Chris's buddies, who we met a little earlier when we met the whole friend group at the rave. Did we mention the rave?
We did not.
That that was thrown in here as just a means to get all these people into one area. This group of friends, one of them is Kara, and Kara is throwing this rave in an old industrial building. Lexi and the fellow we're about to meet and Chris all go down to check it out and get like a sneak peek at what's to come for this giant rave that they're throwing in this tiny town. And Kara gets mad because Lexi's not going to go, and she doesn't want Chris to go because of all the bad press about him.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where we meet this dude. So after the hospital, we get to this guy's house.
Mm-hmm.
He's in the shower. It's a pretty extended scene of him just lathering himself.
He has an AirPod in.
He
Who
does.
showers with their AirPods in?
I don't know.
I don't.
People with not much to live for, I guess. Like, you don't care if your AirPods work tomorrow. You may never have tomorrow.
And boy, does he not have tomorrow.
He gets out of the shower. And he throws his towel on. See Owl outside. This fella is walking through his house, notices that the back door's open. On the path to the door, he is just seeing all these regurgitated bits of people.
Mm-hmm.
Just masses of meat. Just plopped in multiple spots between him and the door. Gets outside, and who does he see waiting for him? Jeepers
Our
Creepers
soliloquizing
himself.
friend.
He knocks the guy over. The owl knocks the guy over and starts spewing from his mouth onto this guy's face. And it apparently is acid, which gives some credence to your toxic waste theory.
I think it's valid.
When he is done upchucking the acid onto this guy's face, he just picks his head up like a bowling ball. Just a finger in each socket, one in the mouth, and just picks it up. You find out real quick that one problem that this town has as a whole is that their necks are made of paper mache. It takes almost no effort at all to be beheaded in Ashdown.
This is true.
So many heads are removed from bodies by the slightest touch. So I think maybe these people need to look into that, and then they can start building on that, because these people are just getting picked off like crazy. Maybe if your heads weren't so easily detachable, you'd have a better time.
They're
I
like
don't know.
Bratz dolls out here.
No, it's crazy. It is absolutely crazy.
This is a sign that we have broken containment. They are no longer resigning themselves to the 100-acre woods. They have infiltrated Ashdown.
They'll go wherever they please. Now we're back to Chris. Chris has followed the janitor home, breaks into his house, and brings what looks like a wand. It looks like a Harry Potter wand.
I was going to ask you what that weapon was because I had no idea.
Or just a
Very
teeny
short
tiny
crowbar?
little baton. Maybe. It could
Big
be the world's
ruler.
smallest crowbar. You're not going to get much leverage with it, but you might be able to do some damage if they're close enough, I guess. He walks up on the janitor, sitting at his desk, smoking a cigarette, listening to the police scanner. Now we know we got him. Dead to rights. Chris approaches the janitor. The janitor's response to "Where are the kids?" is I just had, or I just shite luck, really, for them kids. I never knew why he wanted them. At the time, I didn't really care. Who wanted them? Gallup. Of course, Gallup is
The evil scientist, the
the evil
geneticist.
scientist that was doing all these crazy things. These, how do they describe it? Disturbing practices and unexplained disappearances. Through this conversation between Chris and the janitor, we find out that he was kidnapping these kids for Gallup's experiments in order to pay off the janitor's gambling debts. This guy, for just being like a lackey and just the kid getter, was pretty knowledgeable. He was really kept in the loop.
He had all
He
of the newspaper clippings.
he did, so you know that he's top tier. Apparently, Gallup was messing around with mixing human and animal dinner.
Dinner? Like there was kibbles and bits in their food?
I put dinner. DNA. I'm not sure how it's pronounced.
No, dinner
Combining
sounds right.
human and animal dinner. Yeah. Says that he turned them weak kids into monsters. He got spooked. He had to get rid of them. Burned his house down to destroy the evidence. Remember? Arson suspected. Gallup took the kids to the 100-acre woods and killed them. But those kids didn't stay buried.
No, they did not. But who unburied them? Who dug them up?
They dug themselves up because even the earth didn't want those monstrosities to cover the monstrosities that Dr. Gallup had created. And then he starts burning what evidence he has left, says, "It's not my burden anymore, it's yours now," and then puts a pistol in his mouth and no more janitor.
Do you why did he have that box of things? Like what was the end game there? Was he waiting
I
for
don't
someone to
know.
confront him about this particular situation?
And that's when he would burn the stuff. I don't know because he didn't show any of it to Christopher Robin. He just started throwing it all into the fire. And
He
then it
lost
also
his
had the
wife.
pistol in it.
Yeah, he lost his wife and children because he turned into a monster because of this. So it would stand to reason that he was like waiting to kill himself anyway.
Yeah,
You were just waiting for the moment that somebody.
that felt most dramatic.
Yeah.
They could have the
I
most
mean,
punch. I don't know.
anyway, now we say goodbye to groundskeeper Willie. Lexi and the creepy kid Freddy are hiding from Pooh, who is downstairs in their house. They want to see what's up, so they have an RC car deployed with a camera on it. It pans up to see the full scale of Winnie the Pooh, and he immediately crushes it.
Have you seen the movie? It's a relatively recent movie. It's about this woman's getting texts while she's on a date.
Drop?
Yes, Drop. Yeah.
No, I have not.
Oh, there's a scene so silly where at the end, RC car is used to save the day, and that's what this reminded me of.
Oh,
And it was just it's pretty silly there. It's pretty silly here.
what's even more silly is that the next scene, we see a cop checking out the bottom of this house. I believe she goes into a shed
Yeah, like a barn.
and is confronted by Pooh, who rips her arm off and proceeds to beat her to death with it.
That's pretty funny. That's a funny scene, but it's not as funny as what's coming up. After he rips her arm off, beats her with it, and then shoves it down her throat. And the next scene, where we are back at this house, is this officer being gurneyed out of the barn
Mhm.
in a body bag with an opening for her hand to stick out of the body bag. Oh, jeez
It's
Louise.
fun moments like this that make the movie so much better.
I
It's
agree.
nice to have those just ridiculous deaths
Yeah. Bring some levity to
because
all the
after that,
violence.
after we see her arm sticking out of the body bag, we cut to Christopher Robin in the car listening to the tapes of the evil scientist talking about his experiments. how they have exceeded expectations, and then things started to seem a little off.
You don't say.
He realizes, in a little ways into this, that one of the animals is Billy,
The long lost brother.
the long lost brother. He is one of the things that is currently wandering the 100-acre wood. I had a quote that said they found Finn dead, and it was from a phone call between Lexi and Chris. I
Yeah.
genuinely did not know they'd given that guy a name. I had to look up who Finn was.
Oh, well, there you go. Shower guy is Finn, the one who got his head bowling bald.
Yeah, I was thinking, I think of him in the context of exorcist puke. But yeah, that works too. He's just
Either or.
projectile vomited on to death.
Yeah. The acidic split pea soup.
We have made it back to Chris's house, where the father of the family is trying to put Bunny to bed, and the mom is downstairs. She hears a noise.
Doing the dishes. Again.
Yeah. I don't know how often they have to do the dishes, but someone is either still or has again used all of the knives and put them in the dishwasher upside down, or she has done one dish at a time throughout the span of like 3 days. So they do the thing where she turns on the light, doesn't see anyone, and then as she turns away, there's a surprise villain in the doorway. Then she turned the
there's
lights
Pooh.
off and just keeps going. They left Pooh on her doorstep.
Wasn't even in a brown bag. Like, amateurs.
She has the least surprising death in the movie because you know that the dishwasher is going to get used. Somebody is dying by all of the upside down knives.
Yes.
And it is Chris's mom.
Who was also Pooh's mom.
Who was also Pooh's mom. We don't technically know that yet.
We don't. I mean, we never get.
know-
Well, yeah, we get confirmation, but yeah.
At this point, we only know that Billy is one of them. Maybe he was Eeyore, and we'll never see Billy again.
What we don't know and what we get no clarification on is why they are deciding now to attack everyone related to Billy and everyone like that has any knowledge of Chris, because that's all they're going after. And like, what do we get reasoning for that? I didn't pick up on any.
So it's tough to try to like point it in the direction of any specific reasoning just because they don't it would have been so long since any of them was outside of the 100-acre woods that I can't possibly imagine they remember a ton of their lives before the experiments enough to be particularly mad, hold any grudges aside from Christopher Robin. But yeah, no, I don't think it's ever really given any depth as to why they hate Christopher Robin's people. The only thing I could glean from it was that they were all at the birthday party that Billy went missing in.
And so, like, it should have been them type of situation.
I think so. That's the only through line I could put into the story.
Well, that's more than we got from the movie. So, kudos to you.
So, Bunny is gone. Chris comes home and finds his parents, searches for Bunny, and no dice. Before Chris comes home, we see Pooh going into one of their bedrooms, and he comes face to face with a picture of himself. This is where we get to find out that Pooh is Billy.
But doesn't really do anything. Stands in the doorway, looks at the picture, and then Chris finds the picture knocked over.
Which is funny considering how violent he is. He didn't throw it or break a window or throw
This would be the perfect time for the trope of where they're just so upset about where they think their life should have been that they smashed the picture. But no, right. It's just a little toppled over a little bit.
So now we've cut to the rave. Up to this point of the movie, I was trying to keep a death tally. I was curious how many people actually died in this movie, and it absolutely lost me in the rave. Specifically because there is a scene where Pooh is just murdering all of these people, and it is done through a like painter's tarp. So it's just like an opaque white sheet.
Shadows.
And it's got all of it's done in shadows with a bunch of fun like rave lighting and a bunch of blood spatters. And I think it was done really well. I thought that
I do too.
Really cool.
Yeah, I liked it.
The song that is playing in the same vein as that smell, something, 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 something from the last movie. This movie has violence, ferocity, my chaos, 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 chaos. And
Hmm.
that's it. It just keeps repeating my chaos, chaos, chaos.
That's what you get with $500,000. You get more lyrics to your soundtrack music.
This is true. Technically, you only get one more word to your soundtrack music, so they still didn't break the bank on the sounds.
This is where we have to do all of our boob ratings.
Yeah.
Because I've never been to a rave. Not my bag, not my scene. Is it normal for just nips to be out all over the place?
Yes.
Oh, dang, man.
If you ever look up rave wear, it is clothes that are meant for Barbie dolls in size more than no, it's interesting.
We get a slow-mo boob bounce run. Pretty sweet. But then that girl is immediately bear trapped on the head. This is where we find out that Pooh's new favorite weapon is bear trap on a chain. He's pretty good with it. Gets her first try. And almost immediately her head comes flying off and blood sprays all over everyone. It's pretty sweet. Up until the part where the head starts coming back to him when he pulls it and he swings at it with a pole and it just pops like a balloon all over the room. And then that's when we start our silhouetted mass murdering.
Yeah. There is not a ton, honestly, to the rave deaths, mostly because we only really know one of the people that's at the rave. And a thing that I forgot to mention earlier is that the girl who orchestrated, who like set up the rave, didn't want Chris going because everybody knows he's a murderer. Every single one of these people has a mask until people start dying. No one would know that it was Christopher Robin.
No one would.
And she is a
And
real dick for pointing that out.
yeah, and he was excited about it.
Yeah.
It was like something like returning to normalcy. He was trying to get Lexi to go, but Lexi couldn't because she was babysitting Freddie, and he was real bummed about that.
Yeah.
Of course, he got tied up by having his entire family murdered and tracking down the man who kidnapped his brother. But he didn't know that at the time. He was ready to let loose,
Yeah.
and Kara ruined it.
And another one of those conversations that you could have either had a little bit more decorum or you could have like just had this conversation elsewhere. It didn't need to happen. You didn't need
It
to call
didn't.
him a murderer when he's 2 feet from you.
And then as soon as he gets angry and walks off, oh no, I mean no, but I mean
But it's like a
trying
really
to
important
cover up
party.
for it. Yeah.
She's not even trying to cover up for it. She's just like, I mean, I'm just trying to like people are going to talk about you and I really want them to be talking about me. So if we could just
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but come on.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, Kara gets what she deserves in the not too distant future.
She says, I'm sorry we didn't believe you when she dies, but it was just her. There was no we in this situation.
No.
She's the only one of his friends that thought that he murdered all of these people.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There
So
is, in the time of all of these rave deaths, we get a very silly on all fours run from Winnie the Pooh, where because of the way that it's cropped, you know that they didn't want to show you the full body version of this run because it would look just
so silly.
so silly. And so it looks like he is just I don't know swimming very well, but
No,
he looks like he's swimming. He's
that's what it
doing
looked
like
like
the
to me too.
butterfly,
Yes.
I think.
Yes. They definitely had him lay face down on a crate
Mhm.
and then let's just see what works.
Yeah. It didn't.
It
It didn't work.
it looked ridiculous. It did not work.
Tigger uses the phrase, "Come here, you fluorescent bitch." And it's my favorite line in the movie. Next to the
Oh.
I was playing with Pooh in the woods.
If these kids were taken in 2003 and then exiled to the woods after that, wouldn't they talk like 10-year-olds from 2003?
Theoretically, yes. But also consider how much of their language is probably shaped by people who are panicking in their last moments of life. They've killed a lot of people. And so their language is just like
How often, whenever you're about to be murdered, are you yelling anything about fluorescent? Anything? Maybe if you were murdered in an office, probably not the woods.
Yeah.
Um, Neon might make more sense here, but no, it really, really stuck out. Come here, you fluorescent bitch. And everything is bitch with this guy. He's got
Everything is bitch with this guy.
no chill. No chill at all. Pretty good costume design though.
Yeah.
I don't know how they would have made it work, but he did not bounce on his tail. He traded that ability for straight up teleportation, just popping up wherever he needs to go.
Yeah.
But then that throws a wrench in the whole let's bounce. That's my line. He doesn't bounce. He does not bounce. Not even like a
I
little
was about to
bunny
say
hop.
he at least that's disappointing. He Another very silly part of the deaths that happen in this like part of the movie is that he shreds a girl who has angel wings on. And it's just feathers flying. And it is so funny to watch because he just looks like one of the cats from Cats. It's
Wow.
significantly less horror movie villain.
Yeah, he says something like, I'm going to clip those wings, bitch. And then he
Yes,
also
yeah.
has a line where he says, you better watch where you're going, bitch. Dance,
As
bitch.
as he is eating the eyeballs from the girl, he said, "Watch where you're going, bitch." Too.
Is there
I don't
the
know what grows me out.
possibility that somehow in their man cave, they have come across a couple copies or just some DVDs of Breaking Bad? And Tigger most latched on to Jesse Pinkman and thought that you had to end every sentence with a bitch.
I
Do you think
accept your
that's a
theory.
possibility?
I believe it. Points to this movie. Christopher Robin has a gun. I think it is the one that groundskeeper Will used to shoot himself.
Most likely, yes.
And on top of that, it has 3 more bullets. Instead
Yes.
of the magic one shot, there are 4 options. They're not used for anything besides a suicide, but there are 3 other shots.
And then two go nowhere, but one hits its target, kind of.
It does hit Tigger, yeah.
Pooh pops up with a bat that now has spikes in it, starts going to town, popping heads all over the place. One person thought it would be a good idea to hide from Pooh by crawling into an incinerator, and then
Yeah.
immediately the incinerator gets turned on. And maybe don't do that. Like that's just good life advice. Period. Like it doesn't matter if someone's chasing you or not. Just don't climb into an incinerator. But especially if someone is chasing you, trying to kill you, don't be anywhere near an incinerator that could be turned on and burn you to a crisp because that is dumb. And
Wildly,
we're
that's
all
not
about
even
not being dumb here.
the first movie I've watched this year that involves a death because somebody purposefully went into an incinerator.
Talking about the Saw where there was an incinerator.
No, it Hard Eyes
Mm, awful movie.
was not good, no.
Was, as they say, terrible.
So, we finally get to our face-off between the brothers, formerly known as Billy and Christopher Robin. Christopher Robin hits Pooh with a pipe, log,
A
something
log.
tube-shaped,
Yeah, it's like a cut off branch.
and then they're grappling for a little bit. He calls him Billy, and Pooh goes through a bit of an emotional roller coaster.
You could say that. Yeah. Owl pops up and says, I can see you, you witless bent. Which I I know what some of those words mean. I don't know what a bent is. I'm assuming it's some UK thing.
The only one that I looked up out of the UK slang that I heard tonight was gink.
Was what?
Gink.
Gink?
hmm
I
It is
remember hearing
used
that.
in. It's used at the beginning whenever Lexi and Chris are talking about not going to the rave, and she
Uh,
says she didn't know if she wanted to go anyway because she didn't want to look like a gink. I was like, what does that mean? I looked it up. Apparently, it's just British for fool. You could have just
Hmm.
said that.
Well, bent is an offensive slur. In a contemporary British context, bent is considered a derogatory and offensive insult for a woman or girl. So I guess at this juncture, Owl is speaking to or about
Lexi.
Lexi, who has chased Chris down thanks to having him on Find My iPhone. And they are there together to take down this evil. Through all this fighting, through all of this, through this skirmish, they just happened to end up right where the earth spat them out, where Dr. Gallup buried them, and they arose and decided to take revenge from.
It is to be assumed that there is not a great deal of time between when they were kidnapped and when they were buried in the woods. Why is that hole still there 20 years later?
Because the earth can't put the dirt back in. It's like the earth, the
People
janitor
can't?
said it. It's like the earth just, how did he put it? He didn't say eroded.
It was like fell away around them or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. I don't know. I mean, it seems like this was pretty easy for Chris and Winnie to just stumble upon. So it's probably not very well hidden. So you'd think maybe, I don't know. You think that it would probably be likely for someone to have found it and to fill it back up. But then again, like, if you're not going to develop the land, then why are you going to go out filling holes, random holes you find?
Sure. Yeah.
So I don't
That's
know.
fair.
But seeing the hole does give Pooh some pause. He does think about it for a bit. Chris yells out Billy and then comes up behind him with an axe. And this I felt was very earned.
Mhm.
It is misquoted in the subtitles, which I thought was strange because I feel like if you know one thing about Winnie the Pooh, it would be this. But before Chris plunges the axe into his brother Billy slash Pooh's head, Pooh just says, "Oh bother," and I loved it so much.
It could have conceivably been Oh Brother. Contextually, it makes sense. Legally, it makes sense.
Why'd you do that,
I do love it as Oh Bother.
man? Now you're ruining it.
It is a fantastic end to this movie. Also, I would like to mention that my favorite weapon of the entire franchise thus far is in this scene. He uses a flaming chainsaw.
He does, yeah.
It's a very silly weapon, but it's very cool.
Much like the rest of the residents of Ashdown, his skull is paper thin, and apparently his head is hollow
It
because the chainsaw just goes in and comes out, and then there's just like open space, like a big old open cavity in there.
also possibly in reference to the actual thing and not necessarily just like an error in the prop department. He is a bear of little brain. It's also mentioned in the mid-credit scene. He's a bear of little brain.
They say that in the mid-credit scene.
Mm. They also
Oh,
say it pretty frequently in the actual like Winnie the Pooh stuff.
oh, okay.
So I think
Well,
he's literally just pretty hollow up there.
okay. Well, then that checks out. With how hard in the paint he goes, I would think that his skull would probably be a little thicker,
Hmm.
but I guess not. I don't know. And so Pooh falls to the ground,
He just plops down.
just plops right there. Big old pile of poo just right there on the ground. They make Chris and Lexi make their way to a waiting police car. Lexi, or Bunny, his sister, said, "We found her in your house," and they're reunited. On the car ride back to wherever they're going, I would assume they're probably not going back to their home because it is an active crime scene.
Hmm.
Bunny takes this terrifying little bear and just chucks it out the window. Maybe when you're in the back of a police car, don't litter, but
They're not in a
I
police
think,
car.
what do you mean?
They're not in a police car.
Yes, they
Lexi's
are.
driving.
No, they're in England. The driver's on the other side.
I thought
She's
Lexi
not
was on the
driving.
driver's side.
If she were driving in the United States,
All right.
no, no, they are in a policeman's vehicle, and she is in the front passenger seat. and
Can
Chris
you
is
roll
behind
down the
her.
windows of a cop car?
Some of them, ones that aren't meant for detainee hauling.
Shouldn't every cop car be
Well, I
prepped
mean,
for detainee hauling?
there's detective cars, there's they have different uses. If they need one
Sure.
that can haul somebody, then they'll just call that person.
I guess, yeah. I don't know. I feel like you should have the child locks on every police car.
Maybe
Child
they do.
locks and
I don't
the
know.
window locks.
I don't know. Maybe it's different in the UK. I don't know
Maybe.
because we don't know any UKianites, any United Kingdomians.
Mhm.
But hopefully, with this second review where we've had a call out to people of that persuasion, we'll get some feedback.
Have to add UK in the tags. We attract
Yeah.
the people that might be
Yeah.
able to answer.
And cut to black. Credits roll. But you already mentioned it, but something that we did not get in the first one, we get in the sequel is a mid-credit scene.
We got a post credit in the first one.
Did we?
It's not a scene, but there's a little like extra thing at the end of the credits.
Huh. I guess I didn't stick around long enough for that. They are back in the are they in the man cave?
Yes,
Yeah, and
I think.
Winnie is sitting in his throne, head still split half open.
Mhm.
Piglet is sitting there, and Owl says, "We're coming for you, Christopher Robin." And then there's like some gurgling, and it looks like Piglet is regenerating, which was something that they like quickly alluded to in the. I don't remember if it was when the janitor was talking or in the article that
Mm.
they were like skimming through. But yeah, apparently these creatures can regenerate themselves from having their entire head blown to smithereens and also having an axe split their head in two.
I believe that that's from the tape that Christopher Robin is listening to of uh
Yeah.
Gallup.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. And the whole
Also, one
reason
oh,
that the scientist wanted to get rid of them was because he was worried that he would turn to prey when they turned on him, much like when they turned on Christopher Robin and he became prey. And apparently, everyone he's ever been in contact with became prey.
now we are reviving your two friends, one with no head and one with half a head, with the power of friendship is just fantastic.
It's beautiful when you
That's
think about it.
beautiful.
It's heartwarming.
And now
Maybe
we're done.
when they're regenerated, they'll have a newfound appreciation for life.
Perhaps.
And the Hundred Acre Woods can just become a magical place where dreams come true.
A magic
That's
kingdom, if you will.
that's what I want to see. A kingdom united by friendship. A united kingdom.
Yeah.
All right. So, overall take.
I really enjoyed this movie.
I did too. I did not think I would.
I did not particularly care for the first one because it felt maybe like it was rushed because they wanted to be the first one to come out with a movie as soon as Winnie the Pooh hit public domain.
Because as
But
far as I
the
know,
second,
this is this is the only Winnie the Pooh movie like this.
yeah, uh, but there is a lot more like fleshed out characters. They have backstories. There's actual like motive ish behind what they're doing, and so I thought this was a really good watch. I think
Me
the
too.
effects on this one were pretty decent.
Much better
There
than the last
was
one.
there was silly parts to it, but it felt like it added levity rather than being that kind of like silliness that's not self-aware. Also, there is the creator of Blood and Honey suggested that he's looking to make a cinematic Pooniverse, and I think that is just very funny. I
Uh,
will be invested in whatever else this man is putting out.
I maybe workshop the title Pooniverse because I think you're going to have some people awfully disappointed whenever they find out what it's really about.
There is an actual movie, it seems, in the works called Pooniverse Monsters Assemble.
Huh.
And I'm curious if that brings in any of the other twisted children's IP. So, like the Pinocchios and the Popeyes and
Mickey.
Mickey, yeah. I don't imagine that they would use Mickey just because there's already two Mickey Mouse horror movies
Yeah.
of vastly different qualities.
There's 2 Popeye ones.
It's what
There's a couple Peter Pan ones.
there's Popeye the Slayer Man, and I don't know what the other one is. But Popeye the Slayer Man is a pretty solid title.
No, I was pleasantly surprised by this movie.
Oh god, there's three. All that came out this year.
Should we start a bracket? What's the best Popeye movie?
Yes. I don't know if you can start a bracket with three, but yes.
No.
All right. Your thoughts on the movie?
I really liked it. Way better than the first one. Uh, surprisingly good for what it is. Rotten Tomatoes audience score was 73%, which I think is right where I would probably put it.
Hmm.
Critics score 45%. I don't remember what Blood 91 was.
Somewhere in the single digits, if I remember correctly. It was low.
I got it right here. It was 3%.
Yep.
49% for the audience. So I think that the critics came around, especially when it's compared to the first one. I would give this 3.5.
Bear traps.
Sure, let's go with bear traps. 3.5 bear traps out of 5.
You told me in the last episode everything was out of 10.
6.5 bear traps out of 10.
I I would give it around the same, 6.5 bear traps out of 10. Alternatively, about 65 out of the 100 acre wood.
Oh, dang, that's a better one.
With the
You
power
win
of
this
editing,
round.
you can choose to have a different rating system. You could
I
also
can.
vote based on the 100 acre.
Nah, I'll be genuine. It's all yours. It's all yours. It came from your brain.
I used it on the last one though, so that's
Well, we'll keep this all in. We'll let the people decide. All
all right.
right. My parting words of wisdom to you are stay out of incinerators. Just no matter what's going on in your life, stay out of incinerators.
Yeah, good
Yes.
advice. There are a lot of negatives to technology. One of the things that is not a negative of technology is that we can learn about things before we go to see them or to be in them. For the love of God, Google the place that you are going before you go.
Do some research.
If there have been massacres in recent history, maybe don't. Maybe
I
don't.
would I would go so far as to say if the word massacre comes up in any query that you have about a place that you're going to, don't go. Just stay
It
away.
doesn't it doesn't matter if you're going to see cardinals and sparrows. Go somewhere else.
Because you
Go
also
to a
might
park.
meet Jeepers Creepers. Nobody wants
You
that.
also might It's not worth it, guys.
And with
The
that,
bag get picked up. We're out.
we'll see you.
Peace out, Girl Scouts.